Kavyakanta was a great man. Due to his intense penance, his kundalini rose. According to the scriptures, when the kundalini goes to the sahasra, the crown of the head, its power passes through the head and reaches the sun. Kavyakanta did not want this to happen. Being Bhagavan's disciple, he wanted Bhagavan to place his hand on his head. Later, Kavyakanta said, "The moment Bhagavan put his hands on my head, it was like a cool moon full of rays raining down on me. The pain completely subsided." Prior to this, some of Bhagavan's other devotees reported seeing a faint vapor-like substance rising from the top of Kavyakanta's head. T.K. Sundaresa Iyer, Ganesan's teacher, Kunju Swami, and Vishwanatha Swami experienced another incident involving Bhagavan's grace upon Ganapati Muni. At one time, while doing penance in a Ganesa temple near Chennai, Kavyakanta felt he was unable to progress spiritually. He prayed to Bhagavan, saying, "Help me, help me." In response, he felt Bhagavan appearing before him, putting his hand on him, releasing him from his spiritual stagnation, and then disappearing. Kavyakanta immediately told his disciples about what had happened. At about the same time in Skanda Ashram, Bhagavan corroborated the story by saying, "I was lying down and all of a sudden my body started floating. I heard the word Tiruvachur and walked down the main street. I saw a Ganesa temple and entered it. Then I was suddenly back at Skanda Ashram." T.K. Sundaresa Iyer asked, "How did this happen, Bhagavan?" And Bhagavan said, "It is the sankalpa of Ganapati Muni, Nayana. It was not my desire to go. With this experience, I also understood how siddhis, the legendary sages and saints, travel in the astral realm. Perhaps it was the same for me. Still, it was not mine, but Kavyakanta's desire that made it happen." One day, when Bhagavan was coming down the hill along with Nayana, Sundaresa Iyer and other devotees, he suddenly stopped and said, "Nayana, look at me right now. The sun, moon, stars, and planets are revolving around my waist." The onlookers, the devotees, could not see the spectacle, but they did see Bhagavan's body glowing with a brilliance. Awed, the devotees prostrated in front of the master and chanted the sacred Purusha Suktam, a chant sung by ancient sages praising the Lord of the universe, where the sun and the moon are described as the two eyes of the Lord. Bhagavan vouchsafed that after the Kundalini and Tiruvachur experiences, an electric current had begun to pass through Kavyakanta's body. Consequently, he could not walk barefoot on the earth without getting an electric shock. He began to wear wooden slippers, but would reverently take them off in his master's presence. Bhagavan would compassionately say, "Nayana is coming. He cannot walk barefoot. Place a non-conductor, a wooden plank for him to sit on. Give him also a woolen blanket that he can walk on." We must respect Bhagavan's relationship with Kavyakanta. How the master looked upon his disciples is more important than how a fellow disciple looked upon another. A sage like Bhagavan admired Nayana. That is what seekers and devotees of Bhagavan should consider. Devotees of Bhagavan are indebted to Kavyakantha Ganapati Muni because, firstly, he was the one who gave the master his celebrated sacred name. Secondly, he was the first one who persuaded the master to start talking. Before him, Shiva Praksam Pillai, Gambaram Seshaya, and others assumed Bhagavan was in formal silence and received Bhagavan's answers only in writing. It was to Kavyakantha that Bhagavan started giving answers orally. He was also the one who insisted that Bhagavan write a poem in Sanskrit in the Arya meter. Bhagavan replied that he knew very little of Sanskrit and its meters. Kavyakantha explained the rules of the Arya meter and repeated his request. A day later, Bhagavan presented to an amazed Kavyakantha 2 flawless verses. Then, on the following day, he presented 3 more. It seems that Ganapati Muni exclaimed to his disciple, "Can any of us write like this?" These 5 verses form a hymn called the Arunachala Pancharantam, and it is chanted daily in front of Bhagavan's Samadhi. It goes like this: Ocean of nectar, full of grace, engulfing the universe, universal splendor. O Arunachala, the Supreme Self, be thou the sun and open the lotus of my heart in bliss. O Arunachala, in thee the picture of the universe is formed, has its stay, and is dissolved. This is the sublime truth. Thou art the inner self who dances in the heart as I. Heart is thy name, my Lord. He who turns inward with untroubled mind to search where the consciousness of I arises, realizes the self and rests in thee, Arunachala, just like a river when it joins the ocean. Abandoning the outer world with mind and breath control to meditate on thee within, the yogi sees the light, O Arunachala, and finds his delight in thee. He who dedicates his mind to thee and seeing thee always beholds the universe as thy figure. He who at all times glorifies thee and loves thee as none other than the self. He is the master without rival, being one with thee, Arunachala, eternally in thy bliss.